Hi, everybody. How we all doing? Yay! Good? Cool. Yay, I'm glad somebody got their kit on time. It's okay. I'm sure your kits will show up next week sometime, and then you can rewatch this and have fun again. So while I'm teaching you guys today, I'm going to make mine, the one that I'm doing today, reversible. So that way you guys can see how to do it reversible. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. So today we're learning how to do the flower. Here is the flower. You have, if you guys bought a kit, you either have blue or pink. And then the purple was the prototype. So I really don't have any of the stuff to make the purple. I have a little bits and pieces left over. But I will get some more of the colors for these guys in, so that way we can make some more kits. I think they were pretty popular, so. But I'm going to show you guys today, of course, going to show you how to make it, but then I'm also going to show you guys how to make it reversible. So, how, when I started beading, I was like into the reversible stuff. So it's like more bang for your buck that way. So that's kind of like what I was thinking. But, so we'll see what happens. All right. For the future, this guy will be coming up soon. Is there a list of materials somewhere? I have, let's see, I don't know if I listed the materials. I think I listed them somewhere on the site, but I'm not sure where. But I'll tell you what you need. You need 14 by 13 petals, so larger size petals. You will also need some, what size is this? 8 by 7 petals, so these are smaller petals. So you're going to need larger petals, smaller petals. You're going to need a cushion round, a 14 millimeter cushion round, which is the center part here. They look like little pop beads. So we got some really bright colors and we got some really not bright colors. So, that kind of thing. Thank you. And you're also going to need pinch beads. You're going to need some O beads. You're going to need some 11O seed beads. Your color. Doesn't matter. Of course, you can tell I'm not sure what color direction I'm going in, so I have 20 of them next to me just in case. You're going to need some demis, 11O demis. And you're going to need some 15s. So those are all the things that you're going to need to make this guy here. Cool. Oh, and 3mm fire polish. Forgot about that. Let me go grab that while I'm speaking. I'm going to grab a couple different colors because, like I said, I'm not sure what direction I'm going in. But you can stare at my flowers for a little while. My mom hates me when I do this because then I end up with everything on the mat and then, you know, I have to put it all back. I don't like putting stuff back. I like taking it out, for sure, but not putting it back. My mom's like, I know that. So, what's everybody doing today on Saturday? Except for watching me. I know you guys are watching me. Watch me as I do. Colors, colors, colors. I got lots of fire polish to choose from. That's the great thing about being stranded in a bead store is you got lots of fire polish and things like that to choose from. So, lots of different colors. Yay! What color of 1G for the blue kit? A neutral. You can do blue even. So if you have blue or neutral. So the one I'm gonna make today is gonna be kind of funky. Kind of fun. So bear with me as we get this together. And since I'm gonna be picking out my colors as I go along, so just bear with me with that. So since you guys can be part of the design process for this, would you like me to use the hot pink ones or the seafoamy green ones? Any preference? Hot pink or seafoamy green? I think the colors I picked out would go with either of them. How much fire line to start? Whatever you're comfortable with. You could always add green, hot pink. All right, it's a poll. Tell me which ones you want. That way I can choose. Seafoamy green, pink. I think the seafoamy green one has won so far. Most people have commented on that. Green, yep. Green is the one that's good. That's one, so we're gonna go with green. So that would be this color here. Darn it, because I really wanted to use the hot pink, but I'll use it for another time, trust me. I'll figure out a kit for it, and then you guys will be all buying it because you'll be like, oh my God, that's so pretty. So, I'm going to use 1G today. I think the one color that I use most often is probably like this silvery gray here. Because it kind of blends in with just about anything. But you can use, other neutral colors if you want. Or you can use like a blue if you have the blue kit, or a pink if you have the pink kit, that kind of thing. I typically actually do not use white 1G a lot. I like something that recedes more to the background, so that's something that, recedes more to the background. I start off with about a wingspan. If I have to use more, if I have to add more, then I'll add more. But I start off with about a wingspan. Somebody was asking me how much. If you want to use Fireline, go for it. I use Fireline on one of these. I can't remember which one. So it works with Fireline or it works with 1G, whatever. Beading needles of your choice. I use Tulip beading needles because I'll lose them before they break on me. So, yep, Fireline is okie dokie. You can use Fireline. Can I use Fireline? If yes, you can use Fireline. Absolutely. So, I'll lose these needles before they actually break on me. And I say that now, and I'll probably break it on the video, but... So... I don't typically wax my thread or anything like that. Everybody asks me all that all the time. You know, do you use beeswax on your thread? You know, I do for certain things, because if I know it's, you know, I'm going to have multiple passes and I'm going to use stuff that's going to cut the thread, then yeah, I will. But otherwise, no, not really. So, all right, say you want to make this a little bit more shiny. You can always switch over to using, instead of the 3mm fire polish, you can use 3mm bicone crystals. So, you can probably use a Rivoli in the center, a 14mm Rivoli, with the exception of it will not be reversible. So nobody wants to see the backside of a Rivoli. Sometimes it's not. Or if you use a Rivoli, you can make it reversible if you use the ones that aren't foil back, because sometimes those are pretty on the backside. So I'm just trying to thread my needle here, guys. I mean, and for some reason, making it way more difficult than what it should be. So we are going to start off with our, if I can get my needle threaded, we're going to start off with our, if you use 1G thread, when you need to add more thread, can you use a burner? It doesn't have that same, because it's not that synthetic material, it doesn't have that same kind of like burn to it. So I just cut it. I don't even have a thread burner, so I don't use one. So I know most of you are like, oh my God, what do you mean she doesn't use a thread burner? I don't. I sell them, but I don't typically use them. So I was getting ready to do a quilter's knot for some reason. So we're going to start off with our 14mm cushion rounds, just one of them. You don't need 20 of them. I know they come a lot on a strand, so if you have your stuff at home that you're using at home, so you just need one. So we're going to start with that, and we're going to start with our 11 OC beads. So I have to make a color decision here of what 11 OC bead I'm going to use. I'll leave these guys on the screen somewhere, so that way you can see them. So I got these colors here. You know what? So that way you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to use a darker color against it. So, nickel it is. All right, so what we're going to start off with first is our 11 seed beads, and we're going to be making right angle weave units. So pick up 4 beads, bring those down to your edge of your thread. With a tail long enough that you can hold on to. That's all you need, because you can weave that tail back in later on. So, and you're going to pass back through, whoop, if I can catch the 4th bead. You're going to pass back through all 4 beads. Okay, so that's basically a right angle weave. And then I continue through the next 3, because I want my tail to be behind me, not in front of me. So continue through 3 beads. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get stuck to everything here today. All right, so that is your first right angle weave unit. So that little doohickey right there. So we're going to be making now a total of 16 units. So I got to make 14 more just like this. So what I'm going to do, and I know my math sounds wrong, but it'll make sense afterwards. So because I have 1 unit here, and then, all right, so pick up 3 more 11 seed beads and pass back through that one that you're exiting. So you're going to make a loop around. And then you're going to continue through 2 seed beads. Okay, That's unit number 2. Pick up 3. Exiting the C bead, you're going to go back through that C bead that you're exiting. And continue through the next 2. Set yourself up for the next one. Okay, so we're going to continue that on until we have 15 units. Our 16th unit is going to come from our connection. We need 16 units to go around this 14 millimeter cushion round. And it's going to be a little bit loose. So, but we're going to tighten it up with all the other beads that we're putting around there. So for those of you that have the blue kit, you have 2 different color fire polish in your kits. And I'll explain that later when we get to that point. And if you just popped on, we are making the flower. That's the flower. Okay. And what we're doing right now is just making a right angle weave chain of 60. It's going to be 16 units long total, and it's going to be in a form of a circle. So we're making 15 units to start off with. So I have 7 so far. And I'm taking talking breaks just in case I'm moving too fast for some of you guys. So, because I will speed right along, as most of my people know. So how do we make right angle weave units? So based off of the one that we're exiting right now, we're going to pick up 3 more seed beads, and we're going to go back through the seed bead that we're exiting. That's 1 unit. All right, and then to add the next unit down, we're going to continue through the first 2. If we continue through this one, it's going to add a unit off to the side, so it's going to make like a right angle weave, right angle turn. So, and we want it to continue straight. Some of my people are like, hey, she's not doing soutache this time. What? I actually do beading a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 units. Oh, I found another one, guys, that I will figure out how I did it, and we will learn that one afterwards. So give me this weekend to figure out what I did. I'll show it to you guys in just a minute. I shall make kits just in case you guys don't have the stuff, and then we can do that one together. Yay. Yay, meaning she's working with like seed beads and not soutache. 13. Make sure you count as you go along. You don't want to like rip it out. Yes. I actually like soutache. It makes really pretty stuff. Oh, I just flicked it off the screen. Oh, you're welcome, Susan. I'm keeping the sanity. I try. Oh man, I need to keep my own sanity so I can imagine you guys. So let's see what I got going on here. This guy, he doesn't look like he wants to be straight. All right, so we're going to count our units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, cool. I have 15 units. I double count, so. Oh, look. Oh, I like to look at it too. Not so much doing. Hi, everybody. All right, so before we go on to the next part, this is the one that I'm going to try and redo. I'm getting stuck to the table because it's got a magnetic clasp, but here we go. So this was one that I don't know. They gave us some free beads or something like that. We had to make something with it, so I made something with it. This is what I made. And I said, these are not my colors. So, you know, that's going to remake it in something that is more my colors. But this is something that we'll probably learn how to do later on. But it's cool. I mean, it makes a medallion, so you can make a pendant out of it. This is on a necklace chain. I made a necklace chain out of it. So you can do that. It'll make a cool bracelet. So you can, you know, repeat these medallions a couple times and hook them together, make a bracelet. We'll figure it out. So. And then we got this one coming up too. We're going to make kits for this one. Ooh, so pretty. Okay. Some little bit of temptation for you guys. All right. So now back to this. So to make the 16th unit, what we're going to do is we're going to fold the piece over on itself like this. All right. Because we got to make a circle. All righty. So, and folding it makes it easier to find out where you're going to go. So I got my two little top ones here. You got the one that you start off with. Here is my tail. This is why I leave my tail to start off with so I can see it. And there is my working thread. Working thread is with the needle. Hey, needle. All right. So what you're going to do is to connect your unit, you're going to pick up one seed bead, and you're going to go from the last unit, the last bead on the last unit, into the first bead on the first unit. See it? Can you guys see that? Hey, Kathy. And then you're going to pick up another one more, and you're going to go from there all the way through to here. Essentially creating a right angle weave unit, connecting the first unit with the 15th unit, making a 16th unit. So you got a ring. All right. So now that that's done. Oh, love you guys too. Okay, so now we got our ring. We got our circle. So our circle is going to fit over one of these little pop beads. As you can see, the pop bead goes inside, fits there. Yay. All right. We got that style going on. So what we're going to do now is our pop bead or cushion round or whatever we want to call it has a hole. We're going to utilize that hole. So I move my needle now that I am exiting a middle seed bead there in between two units. Can you see it? Can you see where I'm exiting right there? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a bead. And we're going to go directly across. So there is a unit that is located directly across this. How do we find it? That would be 8 up beads across from it. So here's the one I'm exiting, and I'm going to count 8 of these top beads all the way up on the tippy top here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the one after the 8 bead, that middle bead that's in the center there, that's the one that we're going to go through. That's our connection bead. All right. And then back through the cushion bead. And then back through that first bead that we started off with. So at this point now we can actually sew in our tail thread and cut it off. My ring is not that snug. It's fine. You know, it doesn't have to be that snug. So I bead tight like a maniac. So, but it doesn't have to be that snug because you're going to use other beads now to kind of stiffen it up anyway. So. Don't worry about it. Keep going, Sharon. No biggie. Your ring doesn't have to be. Sorry if I lost you guys for just a second there. For some reason, told me low connection. It just does that every once in a while because, obviously I live in a third world nation in Brazelton, Georgia. So, all right. So I just wove that through a little bit, and I'm going to cut off my tail thread. I typically would not do this, guys, but we're buying some time. You can watch and then re-watch me later on. It's fine. Watch me as I do. And now I have to painstakingly thread this needle again. That's funny. I know I lost connection there for a second, so. It is really no biggie. But I don't mean to be so sarcastic about it or so in-depth about it. Sure, you can watch and learn, no problem. All right, so we got this, guys. So we are going to put aside our 11OC beads right now. So for space time, I would typically not put them away, but I'm going to do that right now. So, because I don't have a lot of space that I'm working with under the camera area here, so. And we're going to switch over, and I'm going to be working on my blue side first. So I'm going to use those guys, and these guys, and my demis. All right. So we're going to switch over now to using demis, the 11O demis that you guys have, some O beads. O beads or ring beads. You might have either one. So if you don't have O beads, you can use ring beads, but it will not work with an 8O demi. I can tell you that. I tried it and it just won't work. So what we're going to do now is so here's our connection. We're going to go into a top unoccupied bead that is not connecting a unit. So if you can see, if I turn this over, that's where I'm going. So around that ring of beads on the top, okay, we got little spaces here in between, and we're going to be alternating a 11O demi with a loss of it. Did you cut me off? No, I can't. I can't. All right, so the first one I'm going to put in is an 11O demi. And now I'm going to switch over to an O bead. So next one I'm going to stitch over. So what I'm doing is I'm stitching a bead in between each of the 11 beads that are here. So it's almost like we're switching over to a peyote stitch off of the right angle weave, okay? So I stitched first a demi. Now I'm going to do a O bead. A demi again, an O bead. So you guys get it? We're switching from one bead to the next. And this guy is going to want to move around. He's going to want to move around a lot. Just ignore him for now. He's going to be slippery and pain in the butt, and you're going to curse me for it, but just ignore it. It'll come together. So. And so the O beads keep it from closing up a lot. So, because otherwise it would want to close up that ring very much, and then it won't fit around the whole entire thing. So, sorry, I hit the table with my leg. Oops. Hold on. So I'm just alternating, stitching in between the 11-0 seed beads here, an 11-0 demi, and an O bead. And our last one is going to be an O bead, because the first one that I added was a demi. Okay. So there's the ring of, what looks like a ring of disaster right now. So it doesn't look like it's going to come up too much. Yeah, if you don't see me anymore, please look for me. I'm on here. I didn't go anywhere. I just lost internet connection for a minute. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stitch a pinch bead in between each of the O beads. You're going to need 8 pinch beads. So I am exiting an 11-0 CB right now, so I'm going to travel through the demi and the 11 and the O bead to exit an O bead. All right, so picking up a pinch bead, we're gonna go from O bead to O bead, stitching in a pinch bead. All right, so we got our ring of pinch beads now. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skirt through this thing and go on the other side and do exactly the same thing I did on one side on the other side. I'm gonna be switching over colors. You guys are not. So, because remember I'm doing 2 different colors to show you guys the difference in the colorways and to make it reversible. So, but what we're gonna do is we're exiting a O bead right now. Say again. What am I saying again, Lynn? We just added our ring of pinch beads into our O beads here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through my right angle weave unit to exit the other side here. To exit one of the top seed beads on the other side. So you guys are not going to switch over colors. I am going to switch over colors because I'm going to show you guys how to make it reversible. So what I'm doing is I'm exiting O bead and I'm going through the right angle weave unit to exit the other side. And what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be switching directions. And it's important to note before we continue on, I am going to note something very important. So I am exiting now a gap in between where, see right here on this side, I have an O bead. You have to make sure that wherever you have an O bead, you are putting an O bead exactly the same on the opposite side. Otherwise, your pinch beads are going to be off kilter and it's not going to look good. So, all right, so if you have an O bead on one side, you're going to make sure that you put the O bead on the other side exactly the same way when you're stitching this in, okay? So we're going to be back to stitching in 11 O demis and O beads. I'm going to switch out my O bead color. You guys are not. You guys are going to stick with your same O bead. What did I just do? Here, Lynn, I'll explain it again. So, I just finished adding my pinch beads around on this side. And what I did is I went from this side of the ring here to the other side of the ring. So to do that, I went through my right angle weave unit. So I exited here, went through the right angle weave unit, which means I went through this bead, and this bead, and this bead to exit, okay? So, and I also said it's important to note that wherever you put an O bead, you have to put an O bead directly opposite of this. So where I'm exiting right now, I need to make sure that I put an O bead right there. So you're going to see me stitch in my O bead now. So my O bead on one side is green. My O bead on the opposite side is purple. But you can see they match up. They line up. O bead against O bead. And the reason is because your pinch beads will not match up if your O beads are not matching up. They're going to be off side, okay? All right, so O bead first. And then the next one I'm going to stitch in between the two 11s there is a demi. I did not change my color of demis because I really won't see my color of demis under here. I will see the O beads. So if we're looking at this, your O beads are that dark metallic color that's in between the pinch beads there. So you can see it better probably on the blue. It's right here. So there are the demis there, but there are demis that are underneath these pinch beads. And the reason that we use the pinch beads is because, the reason we use the demis is it kind of pushes the pinch beads up a little bit. So it kind of has something to sit on then, all right? So, and like I said, it's going to want to move around. And you can tell it's moving around on me. So it's not like it's something that's going to sit there. So, all right, so just stitched in an O bead, so the next one I'm going to stitch in is a demi. Back to O bead. Next to a demi. O bead. Demi. I'm shedding. Ooh. Okay. So if your circle is a bit more snug, Sharon, you're going to attach, go through the middle of one of your right angle weave units, go through one of the cushion rounds, and then connect it to the unit that is directly opposite the unit that you're exiting. So smush it in half, it helps, or count 8 up beads across, and that the center bead after that next 8 up bead is going to be your connection unit. So you're going to connect in there. Guys, I was just answering Sharon's question about what she does now if she just got her ring done. I know you can't rewind on me right now when I'm live, but when I post it afterwards, you can rewind and play it back and listen to me and bitch at me because I won't be here, so, you know. So we're up to our last one, And our last one is going to be a demi. Yay! All right. So there we go. There's the ring on that side. You'd have to spend all night with me? Love me, but not that much, huh? Okay. Put me by your bedside. Put your phone there. Listen to me talk. Kind of sounds creepy. I did not. We're actually going to end up going through it again. So it's kind of going to reinforce it. So Susan asked if I reinforced the ring and pinch beads and O beads. I did not. And the reason is because you can see here on this guy here, but you see those little beads there that are right there that are past the pinch bead and the O bead. That is a kind of like a reinforcement there. So that's what we're going to do. That will be the next step after I finish the pinch beads on this side. So I'm going to add pinch beads on this side now. I'm going to switch colors on pinch beads because, you know, I can. And because I want to show you guys how it can be reversible. Cool? Everybody good? If you're not good, let me know. You can stop me and I can answer questions. I'm trying to go as slow as possible with it not being painstakingly difficult for people. And then I know you guys got to rewatch me anyways. And then, you know, so you're going to be sick of hearing my voice. All right. So, again, from O bead to O bead, we're going to add in a pinch bead. From O bead to O bead, stitch in a pinch bead. All right, so there's the ring of pinch beads on that side. And you see my little guy in here, he's starting to move around a little less now. So now we're gonna stop that movement altogether. It starts at 2, but it was 2 Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, you guys that are on Central Time. I live on the Eastern Standard Time zone, so that's the time zone I usually play by. But I know my company is at a Central Time zone, so I'm always like screwed up. So I can imagine. That's okay. You guys can play it back anyways later on. So thank you. It is very pretty. It will become something like this when it grows up. So. And today I'm drinking another Pellegrino. I think yes. Because you hear a can popping, I'm thinking they probably think I'm drinking like beer. Can of rosé. All right, guys. So our next step is to actually do. You can see on the blue guy here. You see these little seed beads that are inside here. It's a little far off the camera angle, so I will bring it closer. But see those little seed beads that are on the inside right there? That is what we're going to do, and that is going to reinforce it and keep the center pop bead from moving, so it won't move back and forth. Okay. So that is what we are going to do now. And we're going to do it on both sides. So mine are going to be different colors again because mine is reversible. Yours are going to be the same color if you have the kit. If you don't, do whatever you please. So in that center, we're going to be working with now demis and size 11 seed beads. So these are 11 seed beads that I'm going to see. So I'm going to pick something that I like to see. You guys have something that's in your kit, whatever you're going to be using. So But I picked it out. I like to see it when I picked it out and put it into the thing. So, you know, you guys picked the kit, so I'm pretty sure you liked it yourself too. So I don't think we're worried about it. So, and this one I used kind of like a bronzy color seed bead, and this one I used a gold color seed bead. So this side is going to have pink things. So I think I'm going to do pink. And that's some bright pink. So these are some bright colors that I'm using today. But the sun is out and tomorrow it's going to rain, so I'm going to enjoy the sunshine and make a pretty ass flower. All right, so we're going to pick up a demi, an 11-0 seed bead, and a demi. Exiting the O bead, I'm going to go from O bead to O bead and stitch in those 3 components. Okay, I just dropped it, but watch the way I angle my needle. Can you see once I get the cushion ring bead? Please repeat what I do once I get the ring on the cushion beads. Okay, so what you do after you get the ring on the cushion beads is you're going to go on the top of the right angle weave unit, the unconnected beads on the top of the right angle weave unit, and you're going to stitch in a 11-0 demi and a O bead, and you're going to alternate that all the way around. And you're going to do that actually for both sides, but make sure your O beads match on both sides. So we're going to do this again. All right, since I broke to answer a question, let me explain this to you guys again. So I just picked up the 11-0 demi, an 11-0 seed bead, and 11-0 demi. So if you guys don't know what an 11-0 demi is, a demi bead is kind of like an 11-0 seed bead that's cut in half. So can you use a 15? Probably. But the demis are, you know, I don't know. It was designed with demis because they gave me demis so to work with. So that's how it was designed. And I think, you know, it's probably cool to use them. That's okay. You can ask questions. I'm here to answer. That's what I'm here for. You guys are here to hear my voice, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're picking up that 3 segments of seed bead. So I got an 11-0 demi, an 11-0 seed bead, and 11-0 demi. And I'm going to go from O bead to O bead. So, and it's going to end up in the inside, but watch the way I angle my needle. See the way I'm angling my needle? It makes it easier that way. Don't try to force it on the inside. If you got long needles, it's going to want to angle that way anyways, and so that way you don't break up your needle. And then it'll just pop in on the inside like that. See? See where it went? Cool? All right, so again, demi, 11, demi. Angle your needle to the outside. Demi, 11, demi. Next one, angle your needle to the outside. See how easy it makes it when you angle your needle that way? See, guys, I've already went through the torture of making 3 of these, so I already figured this out. So, and you see how it's kind of making these, it's forcing these to pop up now? Let me get back into the camera lens. So you see how it's forcing the pinch beads to pop back up? So that's the goal that we're looking for. Okay. Demi, 11, demi. Angle your needle. Demi, 11, demi. Angle your needle. So the sun is shining here, but we're supposed to get storms tomorrow, so I thought a flower would be a good idea. And not just any flower, but a bright flower, because I'm going to miss my sunshine tomorrow. I grew up in Florida, so I'm very much of a sunshine girl. I need sunshine. So if any of you are from the West Coast where it rains a lot, I'm sorry. All right, so that side is done. See how pretty it looks? It's our inside of our flower. So now what we're going to do is we're going to skirt through our right angle weave unit again to go to this side of the flower to do the same thing. And you're asking, I bet you guys are asking why I didn't finish off this side. And the reason is because, you know, why I didn't finish off this side first. And the reason is I want to make sure that I have enough room to work with, to play around with. Because this really seals it up in the end. So we want that little bit of room to play around with to start off with. So I feel like my fingers are doing little dances on the... Southern California girl, so you know what I mean. I know. I need sunshine. I can't do without sunshine. So it just like it sets my mood. So all right. So we are exiting a O bead. So yep, skirt through means weave in Georgia. Yep, weave through. I don't know. I've always used skirt through the beads. So I'm going to go through, weave through the right angle weave unit, as Sue says. And you're just going to make sure you just follow, and you're going to change directions when you're doing this, because a right angle weave unit, whenever you go through a right angle weave unit, it makes you change directions regardless. Because otherwise, if you're not changing directions to a right angle weave unit, you did something wrong because you crossed over it the wrong way. Which means you can see your thread. Okay? So we're going to do exactly what we did on this side here. We're going to do it on this side. So, but I'm going to change my 11 OCB color based on what I'm using on one side versus the other. Okay? So on this side, I'm going to have the blue petals. I'm going to have these petals here. So what color? Pinks and purples on the other side. So, I don't know. Should I do bright blue? Decisions. I think a bright blue would be pretty. So... I'm using a lot of these permanent finish colors. This was the new line of permanent finish that they released about, I don't know, it was probably last year. Maybe longer, God knows, time flies. So I like them. I think they're pretty. I think Mayuki's probably going to be coming up with some newer colors too, just because when Toho comes up with something, then Mayuki has to as well. So, all right. So again, on this side, we're going to be putting in our 3C beads. So right here, I have a demi, 11-0 round, and a demi. So there's my 3C beads. And we're going to go from O bead to O bead. My O beads are these light green ones here this time, okay? And remember, I'm going to angle my needle towards the outside edge. So O bead to O bead, angle your needle toward the outside edge. Demi, 11, just one 11, and a demi. Angle your needle towards the outside edge. So Robin and Sharon, if you are if you have finished your first ring around the beads, so you've already added your demis and your O beads on one side, you're going to add your pinch beads in between each of the O bead on one side. So I feel like we do this in bead stores anyways. It's like everybody works at a different pace than everybody else. So I'm usually answering questions based on step 1, step 5. Some people are already on to step 18, that kind of thing. So this is normal for me to answer questions from the beginning to all the way to the end because everybody works at their own pace, and I'm okay with that. So I'm super expedienty fast, so I'm used to being way ahead of the game, but everybody works at their own pace, and I'm cool with that. Demi, 11, demi. It's a great thing if you know your design or you know what you're doing, then you can answer questions at any time point of the game. And I'm not doing this with instructions in front of me this time, so, I did not even make printed instructions for this. So COVID-19 has really made me change up what I do because, you know, typically I would make printed instructions. Printed instructions usually take me a little bit longer because, you know, I work as well, another job. So you might only get 1 or 2 designs out of me out of a year. They're usually pretty big designs, but you typically only get 1 to 2 out of me out of a year. Here I can make a whole lot of smaller designs and work with it that way. And what I'm doing here is I'm just flipping these pinch beads, some of them, because some of them are not wanting to force up. So we just flip them around and they will force themselves up. Got it? Got it. So typically you wouldn't get that many designs out of me because, you know, I work another job and all this other fun stuff. So, you know, it kind of takes away from the design time, and instructions, making printed instructions is, it's kind of like a bane of my existence. But doing it this way, it's quite easy. I mean, I could come up with things pretty quickly, so I'm not worried about that. It's, you know, the what takes the longest amount of time is actually making instructions. So if I can show you guys on a video and you guys can play the video back as many times as you want, then I'm cool with that. So and luckily I like to talk, so these videos are not that tough for me to do, other than, you know, I'm not typically on social media that much, so, but I've been on social media a lot lately. All right, so this is the last one. Demi, 11, demi. Angle your needle towards the outside edge with the O bead. There we go. And like I said, if they don't want to flip over, just force them. You can either stick your needle in there and pop them up and they'll force into place, or you can use your fingers and pull on the pinch bead to the side and it'll force it into place. I like to talk too. I know you do, Lynn, and you haven't been able to be here to talk. What the heck? So we just finished the inside of our flower. Ta-da, one side, ta-da, the other side. Can you see how different already it will look from one side to the other? So one side, ta-da, the other side. I mean, it's going to look completely different. So that's what I like about these things. I like reversible patterns that way because it's going to look a little bit different. So I like to get different designs out of my one thing. So I don't know about you guys, but that's the way I like to roll. So next we're going to add our big petals to the outside edge. All right. So if you guys are working the gift of gab, I guess I have too. I don't know. So if you guys are working a little bit behind and you just added your pinch beads to one side, what you're going to do is you're going to skirt through the right angle weave, or weave through the right angle weave, right, Sue? Until you get to the other side, to the up bead on the other side of the cushion round. And you're going to stitch in your demis and your O beads in between each of those 11 rounds. When you're doing that, make sure your demi matches with your demi on the other side, that your demis are going to line up, because if they don't, then your pinch beads are going to be offset. So, and you're going to hate me. You're going to play me back on slow-mo? Oh my God, I can't. Please don't let me listen to that, because I already hate the sound of my voice, so I can imagine it's going to be even worse. Alrighty, so we're going to be moving on, and now we're going to use our petals, our large petals, big petals now. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up my mat a little bit. I'm going to look at this to see if I can see those seed beads at all that are going to be used with the big petals, because it's going to make a difference of what seed beads I choose on each side. You can't really see them. I think I'm going to use nickel just in case. Something neutral. So you're going to switch back to your 11O seed beads. I'm going to switch to a neutral color. because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see it from both sides or not, so. But you guys only have one 11OC bead in your kit, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to switch back over to nickel. And our big petals. So when they first gave me these things, I'm like, what the heck do you do with these? Oh, they make a flower. I mean, duh, make a flower with them. But they're super pretty. And especially some of the colors they have are really pretty. So you can see that, let me put these petals back onto the screen. You can see there's distinct sides to these petals. All right, so let me pick up one that's on either side. So there is one that domes in. So when there's one concave and one convex. So is what we're looking at. So I'd like to make sure that all my petals are going to be picked up the same way. So I would find the one side that you're happy with, that you want to pick up the one way, and make sure they're all lined up that way on your mat. Because it's going to make a difference. Makes a difference to me. I don't want, my petals to be different, like the concave or convex side. I want all sides, all one side to be concave and all the other side to be convex. Got it? So if I flip this over, this would be my concave side, and this would be my convex side. Cool? All right. So I'm exiting an O bead right now, and that's where you need to be exiting. You need to exit an O bead. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up an 11OC bead, go into one of these petals, pick a petal, any petal, because they're all facing the same way right now, and another 11OC bead. And we're going to go from O bead to O bead. So I'm going to go from my green O bead to my purple O bead. You're going to go from your O bead on one side to your O bead that is directly opposite it on the other side. Opposite it. Okay, stitch that in, stitch it in the petal. Pick up an 11OC bead, travel back up through the petal, the large petal, another 11OC bead, travel through the O bead. Whoop, sorry, made you guys motion sickness there. Hit the camera. There we go. One petal in place. Continue through your next pinch bead into the next O bead. To add your next petal. Pick up 11OC bead. Go down into your petal. Pick a petal, any petal, because they're all facing the same way. 11OC bead. Go from O bead to O bead, O bead to O bead. And we're doing this almost like a right angle weave unit, like we would connect a right angle weave unit together. So not crisscrossing, meaning staying on one side, then going back to the other side. 11OC bead, up through the petal. 11OC bead, through the O bead, through the pinch bead, into the next O bead. Repeat. I'm going to repeat this 8 times. So 11OC bead, through the petal, 11OC bead, O bead to O bead. Okay? Stitch through the O bead that is directly opposite the O bead that you're exiting. (11OC bead) up through the petal. (11OC bead) back through the O bead you originally started with. Through the next pinch bead and into the next O bead. 11 C bead into the petal, 11 C bead, O bead to O bead, travel through the O bead that is directly opposite the O bead that you're exiting, 11 C bead, up through the petal, 11 C bead, through the O bead, pinch bead, into the next O bead. This pinch bead needs to turn. There we go. All right, so since we're halfway through, we're gonna pause and take a look. All right, you can see I have 2 11 C beads on one side, yeah, I don't have a bead scoop. I use my own bead caps. So I'm a person. I use things with purpose here. So, all right. So we got 2 11 C beads on one side. I got 2 11 C beads on the opposite side. You can't really see it too well because this side is silver too, but you can see 2 C beads in there. So what we're doing here is we're connecting a petal from O bead to O bead, and how we're doing it is we're picking up an 11 C bead, the petal and 11 C bead, and we go through the O bead on the other side. So if you look at it, it makes kind of like a circle rotation here. So and that circle rotation is kind of like a right angle weave unit. So that's essentially what you're doing, is that you're adding another right angle weave unit in between 2 beads. So if you like to look at it in the terms of bead stitches. So convex, concave. Can you see it? See how I have my petals? This is half of a flower. Hey! All right, so we're continuing on. 11 C bead into the petal, 11 C bead, O bead to O bead. So I have done these in as little as an hour and a half. So if I do not get my thread caught and turned around like I just did. So essentially, you know, it's probably going to take me 2.5 hours to do this one because I'm teaching it. But if they make up that quickly, you know, they make great gifts. And you can buy yourself some little silk ribbon cords and connect them that way as a necklace piece. Or leather. We have leather here. I have lots of leather. These live videos are something else, I will tell you. You never know what Stephanie's going to do or come up with. O bead to O bead. The people that are from this bead store are used to me. For all the rest of you, yep, this is Stephanie from Beadjoux Bead Store in Brazelton, Georgia. My people, when they see me, typically they see me and I look like a zombie. So, because I work another job, and I work at night, so I don't typically look the best. By the time I get out of work, you know, I do food safety in large-scale food plants, and I work for a private company that does sanitation of these large-scale food plants. So I'm around water a lot and everything. So I pretty much look like, you know, little wet rag doll when I get out of these places sometimes. So when they see me, I'm very tired and, you know, my mascara may be running. My mom said, but beautiful. Isn't she sweet? She lies, but she's sweet. But they do make really cool gifts. I will say that. When you finally finish one of these flowers, you're going to be like, wow, these things are solid. There's not much room to play with on these things. You notice it'll get harder and harder to stitch. The way I came up with this is just, I don't even know what my brain was thinking. The way I came up with adding these little petals in between, and you guys will see that in the next round. All right, we're getting ready to add our last large petal. I like the color coatings that we have on here now. Like those little dreamy color coatings. I don't know what this one's called. This is called Halo. I said dreamy. That works. Yeah, I told you. These meats, the meats are going to be running low soon. I know how many food plants have actually shut down because of all this. Shut down because of worker safety, employee safety. So a lot of them have switched over from making stuff for restaurants, because some of these food plants only make things exclusively for restaurants. And they're making case ready, which is, case ready would be, of course, to buy. Absolutely. Yes. Please come visit us. After the stay-at-home order is over and you guys can, are free to move around, then yeah, hey, we're here. All right, so we just finished adding our last large petal. And we can see there's one side. There's the other side. Cool? Coolness. All right. So we are now going to switch over to adding our little petals. These are our little baby petals, and we're going to use, we're going to be adding those now, next. So I'm going to switch this apart, and I'm going to pull this out. So can you see that bead that's in between there? That is a fire polished. So there is a fire polish in between two of these beads, okay? So that's going to be that little anchoring part that anchors that stone in there. And that is also a place where you can stick a needle. You can thread a piece of leather or stick a needle through there. And see how I'm doing that? And that's actually where you can hang a rope or a necklace band or something like that. Because those things are stitched in there pretty good. So we're going to be working... and you can see as I'm pulling this apart here, you can see how I did this. So I worked from O bead to O bead here. Or you can work from pinch bead to pinch bead, whatever works for you. Will work for me. And I added the combination of a 15 and 11 on one side petal, a 3mm fire polish, and a 15 and 11-0 on the other side. Okay, so let's get our beads set up and we will go over how to do this now. We're done with the large petals. Petals are done. And I'm done with this color seed bead. I'm going to be using different color seed beads now. So you guys need to get out your 11s, your 15s, your small petals, and your fire polish. If you're doing the blue one, you're going to be pulling out that golden yellow kind of fire polish. So let me grab one so that way you guys can see which one you're going to be using. So this is what we made for the blue kit, how we kitted the blue kit together. So you're going to be using this fire polish first. It's kind of like a yellow mustardy color. So if you're using the blue kit, pull out your yellow mustardy color fire polish. If you're using the pink kit, pull out any fire polish color that you got. Okay? Okie dokie. Yeah. So let's see. I'm going to be using both of my color petals. And you're going to be pulling out your smaller petals as well. It sounds like I'm eating candy here. I'm pulling beads from a bag. Candy wrappers. So my setting up of beads kind of gives you guys time to switch over and to catch up to where I am too. So, all right. So what beads do I want to work with? I'm going to work with this seafoam green and back to the blue for this side with the beigey colored these. So because I did not feel like creating a creative name for this, this is just called the flower. That's it. It's just the flower. And kits are available on Etsy for either the blue or the pink, and I'll be making up some other kits as well. It looks like candy. I know. All right, so that's one side, and the other side, let me flip this over. That's the other side I'm going to be working with pink beads. So I'm going to use purple and pink on this side. What you guys think? I think that'll work. And fire polished. Something I'm not going to be seeing that much. Yep, that works. You could. You can, yeah, if you don't and you just buy the beads out separately, you can make numerous flowers and you can make them separate colors. The kit's easier to start off with, so that way you kind of know what you're doing to start off with. That's the only reason why we suggest kits at first. But afterwards, go for it. Then you could do, this is why I'm doing a reversible one on the video, is because I know that you guys are going to be watching this, and if you have a kit, you're going to be using all one color. So those, you can't really switch over from the other side. But once you kind of know where the beads will go, how long will the video be available after today, or will there be instructions? It will be available forever and ever, because I'm actually posting it on YouTube. So if you are not part of our YouTube account, have not signed up to subscribe to us, I suggest you do, because we've been putting all these videos that we've been doing for all these kits and stuff like that are on YouTube, so you can go and revisit them afterwards. I don't think I'll be making written instructions for this, just because, you know, we're just moving on so quickly to other stuff. So it's just, and you know, video, you can watch me as many times as your heart's content. So, and since it will be available forever and ever, then go for it. So. All right, so to get ready, I'm just going to stitch through the next pinch bead. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work pinch bead to pinch bead. So I'm going to put my blue flower here so that way we can see what's going on. So we're adding our yellow colored things. So what you're going to do is you're going to have all your petals faced. You're going to split your petals in half. Have half of them faced concave, the other half faced convex. So, as you can see here, I like my petals to be concave. That's just my decision. You might like them to be convex. However you like them to be, you like them to be. But I like all my petals to be facing the same direction on one side, and all the petals to be facing the same direction on the other side. Now, whether you want one side to be convex and the other side to be concave is up to you. But I would suggest splitting your petals in half, facing half of them one direction, half the other direction, So that way, and we're going to alternate the way that we pick them up. So that way, with that alternation there, we'll have one side, all the same, and the other side all the same. Oh, that's okay. You could catch the replay. How was the mountain? Were there lots of people there? Or people social distancing? All right, so starting from one side here, we're going to start adding our smaller petals. So we are going to pick up, exiting the pinch bead. We're going to pick up, I'm working on my blue side first. I'm going to pick up a 15, an 11, a petal, a small petal, a fire polished. I'm switching over to the other side now. So I'm going to be picking up my other colors. And you're going to pick up another petal. And when you're picking up the other petal, pick the other half of the ways that you have flipped over. So you had one flip over one way, and you have the other flipped over the other way. So pick up the other half. Then another 11, and another 15. So here's a sequence of beads that I picked up. We have a 15, an 11, a petal that's faced one direction, a 3mm fire polished petal that's faced the other direction, an 11, and a 15. Going to bring those down to the edge. This is going to go in between two petals like this. All right, so can you see where my fire polish is going to end up sitting in between two petals? All right, since we're exiting a pinch bead on one side, we're going to go through the pinch bead that is directly opposite the pinch bead that we're exiting on the one side and go through it. Pull down. All right, so on this side now, I got to pick up another 15 and 11, go through the one petal, the 3mm, and the other petal. So you're going to go through the two petals and the 3mm bicone, 3mm fire polished. And now we're onto the first side that we started with, and we're going to pick up an 11 and a 15 and travel back through the pinch bead that we first started off with. All right, and we're going to do this about 7 more times, so don't worry. If you didn't get it the first time around, we're going to do it again. All right, so continue through the next O bead and into the next pinch bead. At this point, it's going to start getting a little tough to move around, but you'll get it. You'll get it. Just play with your beads and your thread until you get there. All right. So here we go again. 15, 11, petal. Petal facing one direction. 3mm fire polished. Petal facing the other direction. 11 and a 15. Okay, my grouping again. 15, 11, petal facing the one direction. 3mm fire polish, petal facing the other direction. 11 and a 15. Going from the pinch bead that we're exiting, it's going to bridge over in between the two large petals, and we're going to go into the pinch bead directly opposite of it on the other side. And they're going to want to twist and stuff like that because that's what they want to do. They want to play with your mind. All right, so we got them kind of stitched in. Beautiful and crowded, nowhere else to go. I know, I feel you. 15, 11. Through the flower petal, through the 3mm, through the flower petal. on the other side of the flower, 11 and a 15. Back through the pinch bead. Our Etsy shop name is Beadjoux Bead Store. I think if you go onto our Facebook page, there's plenty of links to both the YouTube and to the Etsy page. But once I'm done with this video, I can send you some links to them. Or once when I'm done with this Facebook video. Sorry, I forgot what social media site I'm on right now. All right, so we're gonna go through the O bead into the next pinch bead to set up for the next one that we're adding. 15, 11. Petal facing one direction. 3 millimeter. Petal facing the opposite direction. Sure, not a problem. 11 and a 15. Bridge it over. Snap it in place. Go from one pinch bead to the pinch bead on the opposite side. These guys want to get tangled and create a knot. I'm not with that knot. All right, guys, I created a knot, so give me a second. I got to get the knot out, which gives you guys some time to catch up if you guys are falling a little bit behind. So knots are a whole lot easier to take out of Fireline than they are to take out of 1G. I will say that. But I'm working it. And if you guys don't know the tip of taking out a knot, you use 2 needles and just pull it apart. It's happening live, so you can get a knot out even when you're being watched by some people. There we go. Back into place. We're back into play. All right. 15 and 11. Travel back through the petal, the 3 and the petal. Back on this side, 11 and a 15. Continue through the pinch bead and the O bead and into the next pinch bead. Okay, 15, 11, petal facing one way, 3 millimeter, petal facing the opposite way, 11 and a 15. And notice how I'm holding my flower in the same direction all the time. So I'm not flipping it the way I hold it. I'm holding it between 2 fingers. So that way I know what side I'm supposed to be working on. It makes a difference when you're adding the petals. That's about it. So, all right, 15 and 11 through the petal, fire polished, and petal. Hey, we all work at our own pace, Lynn. Unfortunately, I don't think you guys want to spend all night with me. All right, and then pinch bead, O bead, and into the next pinch bead. Okay. Now we're going to add the next one. But before we do so, we're going to take a break. All right, so that way you guys can see how this is working out. So, split my petals apart. You can see that 3 millimeter in there. All right, you can see the petals on one side, petals on the other side. I like both of my petals to be concave on both sides, so that's the way I set it up. That's the way I'm picking them up. All right, and you can see right here, they're being connected by a 15 and 11. Same on this side, 15 and 11, except I alternated my colors. So I have different colors on both sides. Thank you. Yeah, it is very cool. So I wanted to be able to show you guys that you can get multiple uses out of this if it's a reversible pendant. So the kit that you guys have, it's all the same. Both sides are the same. See, both sides are the same. But when you guys branch out on your own, and you know, after you do the kit and you branch out on your own, or if you want to buy some supplies from us, that's cool too. But you can buy, so a strand of, you know, the big petals, 2 strands of the little petals, or 3 strands of the little petals, and, you know, a couple different colors of pinch beads. You probably all of you have seed beads at home, so whatever seed bead colors that you have at home, of course, will work. Some 3 millimeter fire polished, some O beads, and some demis, and you can make a variety of different colors of flowers. So really, it's really nothing to it. That's all it is. It's just, you know, picking out colors and going with it. You just got to remember that your big petal color you're always going to see on both sides. So make sure you find something that will, you know, coordinate with both of those. Or you can buy the kit. I'm going to make a reversible flower kit as well. So how many reversible flowers can you make from the kit? So you can only make 1 flower from the kit. The kit has enough to make 1 flower. So if I make, are there any bright neon colors? You know, there's these beads come in like bright colors like that. The petals, some of them come in brighter colors, but some of them don't. So I'm working with what I had in stock here at the shop. So I had the kind of like the halo finish and stuff like that. So the next, the order that I made for the next petals and stuff like that, I'll have some different color petals. So I'm going to have a lot of more of the bigger petals and more neutral colors, because neutral colors can go, and then we can get really wild with the little petals, because you don't see the little petals from one side to the other. So but yeah, one kit will make 1 flower. So, but if you buy a strand of large petals, you can get a couple flowers out of a strand of large petals. But the kit has everything that you need to make 1 large flower. And the kits that I have on right now are not reversible. They are, you'll see the same side color on one side as you will on the other. So the next kit that I put up there will be reversible. All right, so we're going to be going back now to adding our petals. We took a break. So 15, 11. Small petal, whoop, facing one direction. Three millimeter. Small petal facing the other direction. 11 and a 15. This is going to go in between the large petals like that. You're going to go from pinch bead to pinch bead. So the pinch bead on one side, you're going to go through the pinch bead on the opposite side of the flower. You have to play around with it sometimes to get it to line up correctly. 15 and 11. Go through the petal, the 3 millimeter, and the petal. Flip it over to the other side. 11 and 15. Travel through the pinch bead, the O bead, and then into the next pinch bead. If you can't do all three in one shot, don't worry about it. Get as many as you can. One bead at a time sometimes works just fine. Okay. 15, 11. Small petal facing one way. 3 millimeter. Small petal facing the opposite way. 11 and a 15. Pinch bead to pinch bead, so exiting the pinch bead on one side of the flower, we're going to go into the pinch bead that is directly opposite of it on the other side of the flower. $15 and 11. Travel through the petal, the 3 millimeter, and the petal on the other side. And I say petals because they're actually called rose petals. So 11 and a 15. So what do you do with rose petals? You make flowers. Through the O bead, through the pinch bead. Yeah, a little 60s flower. It does look like it, right? A little daisy. Flower power. And you can see we're getting there. So we are getting there on both sides. 15, 11. Petal facing one way. 3 millimeter. Petal facing the opposite way. 11 and a 15. $15 and 11 through the petal, the 3 millimeter, and the petal. Other side. 11 and a 15 through the pinch bead, the O bead, and into the next pinch bead. I think I have enough thread to do this one more time, which is what I need. And then I'll add more thread. All right, so 15, 11, petal facing one direction. 3 millimeter. petal facing the opposite direction. These are all facing the one way. 11 and a 15. I have a science brain. I majored in science in college. So I have 2 undergraduate degrees in biology and microbiology, and I have my master's in epidemiology and public health. So I'm good at math-based things like that. So that's why constructing these things and making stuff like this works out for me. 15 and 11. So just throw some beads in front of me. I can usually figure out something, trust me. It doesn't take me very long. I'm pretty quick at that. And I actually picked up, I used beading in college as kind of like a stress reliever. So, not that I was stressed out much. I never really studied. But, I kind of filled in the gap because I was like a GA or a TA or something like that throughout college. So, an 11 and a 15 and back through the pinch bead. There we go. The structure of our flower is made. Isn't that pretty? There's one side, and you could straighten out your petals now. They may want to flip different ways, but they'll straighten out pretty good. Flip to the other side, the other way. I'm in a different realm. I always enjoyed food safety more. I've enjoyed so I don't like really chronic diseases or diseases that come up and last a long time. I'm more of a food safety, so I kind of like those short-term ones. It is very tight in between the beads. That's why I told you it's going to be solid when you get that. Yes. Science minds. I think if you ask a lot of the national instructors, they usually have science backgrounds. So I think Melissa did like physics, and Nancy Kane was like engineer, and so you got a lot of those going on there. So what I'm doing is I'm just ending my thread now because I obviously do not have enough thread to continue on. So if you're trying to figure out what I'm doing right now, that's it. Just ending my thread. But I understand what they're doing, the flattening the curve and stuff like that, because I did do epidemiology, still an epidemiologist, so regardless, but I focus more on food safety. So I focus more on when we get recalls for E. coli and lettuce, that kind of thing. That's cute. I don't have any of those, sorry. So you guys get to watch me as I'm weaving through something on how I end the thread. I think we all end threads differently, so, With this, there's so many pass-betweens and everything, go-in-betweens. Ending your thread is I just travel through a couple beads and back through. So I make sure my thread crosses over itself, so that way I don't really have to worry about making a half hitch knot. All right, so I'll cut this off. We're gonna start a new thread. So we are done with petals now. So if you have any extra petals laying around, you can put them away, which is what I intend to do. So now what we're going to do, let me pick up one of my completed flowers so I can show you what we're going to do. is we're going to add what we call decoration. So I did not like seeing whatever this disaster it was here, right here. If I could see the holes here with these beads and stuff like that, I just wasn't thrilled with that. So I came up with adding these 3mm fire polish in front. And it kind of loops everything together, and it kind of makes these guys not want to flip around so much. So that's the point of that. The flower is really pretty, and Sue's making hers, and she can attest to how tight these things are. These are, I mean, you could probably use them as Chinese Death Stars when they're done, because they're just solid. They are solid. All right, so I'm going to get myself some more thread, and we are going to be working with our 3mm fire polish. If you have a blue kit, you're going to be working with your other fire polish color. So kind of like that gray, bluish kind of color that you have in there. And if you're working with your other kit color, whatever fire polish that you had there, that's the fire polish that you're using. And we're also going to be using some 15s. And this is going to be our last step. So, like Frisbees, yes, you can fling these things around. They are like Frisbees. So, because I have done different colors here, I'm going to put some of my petals away. Put my 11 seed beads away because I'm done with that. And people were commenting before about my little trick of using my bead cap to actually pick up my beads because I do not have a bead scoop. That is the wrong color. It is this color. Okay, darn you for not wanting to come out. Come out and play. All right, that's done. So now I got my 15s here. See if I'm happy with those 15s and I want to stick with them. I think I am. So now I get to choose my fire polished on one side. What color? Decisions. I can, yeah, I can show you an example of a bail when I finish this one. Hang on, guys, I gotta plug in the phone because otherwise you guys are gonna lose me and then you're gonna be upset. Okay, so decisions on fire polish colors. While you guys are catching up, I get to make some design options. Let's see what we want to do. Mom's gonna hate me because I just pulled a whole bunch of different, I ran out of thread, I ran out of 11s, by the way. What silver was it? What's silver? Silver? I don't think I used silver in a kit. It's gold. It's not silver, it's gold. Lynn. Mm-hmm. My mom will send you some more if anything. All right. Options. Options. Do you want to go with something really bright? What do you guys think? Which one you like? Lighter one? The lighter color? I'm not much of a yellow fan, but I pulled it just to see what it would look like. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. But it's a gold 11. I thought I put in enough 11s in there. I think I'm going to go with that color. All right, for this side, let's see. I'll send you all some more 11s that got the kit. Yes, that one. Okay. So this one, let's see. Which one for that one? Oh, you have fun. Have fun on the lake, Sue. Thank you. Yep. You can come and visit me later on and finish it up. It's permanent finish yellow gold. Lynn. Six o'clock or 1 o'clock? You think it needs some contrast? Well, if I go with a bright yellow, that's definitely contrast. I don't have a lake by my home address. Or we got these going on. I got tons of fire polish colors, so I can do this for days. Lynn, lime green. You know what? I think I might do the lime green just because the other side is so funky anyway, so why not? Not that I'm going to make this into a kit exactly, so. You can use a pie cone instead of a no lime. Okay, fine, no lime. Be that way. It's Lynn and Sharon. Oh gosh, decisions. See what happens when you give me like more choices than I should have. That'll pull it towards that. No. My like lime does not hear. You know what? We'll go with that one. It pulls it towards the center more. How about that? Is everybody happy with that? And because of that, I'm going to switch over my 15 to something different. You like the silvery color? Yeah, what? We're going to do like this. I have to like it. I have to live with it, right? I don't even know where I put that tube of seed beads. Okay, here it is. Yeah, I know. Well, I do have a bead store full of choices, so it makes it a whole lot harder too. All right, let's go, guys. Let's do this. Let's finish this off. And I will show you guys a quick and easy bail or something like that to go with as well. You can absolutely use gold 15s with it because of the gold. These guys here, they're kind of like a beigey gold. So I feel like I want some color in my life. So I'm going to use the purples. Purples and blues and greens always go well together. So, you know, that's not a horrible choice to go with. All right, so this is the part that we're doing right now is we're adding these, you can't see it because it's far away, but you're adding these right here around the top side. So we're going to come through and we're going to exit the 11 that is right next to one of the petals. So I'm adding a new thread in. And sorry, I have to get closer to where I can see it so I can add the thread. So I did take it off the camera, but all I did was a half hitch knot to add thread. And this is where it's going to start. Hey guys, guess what? A flood watch has been issued for our location. It says Glen Burns on my weather app. And this is where it's going to get a little bit more challenging to start to move around this thing. It's because it is so tightly woven at this point. So sometimes it's going to take a little bit of finagling to get your needle through. You can do either way. I did a half hitch knot. So I half hitch knot it somewhere back here in between like an O bead and a pinch bead. And then I wove it through. So, all right, guys, you can see I'm exiting an 11 right now. So there's my thread. It's exiting a blue 11 on top of the petal. So I'm going to pick up a 15, a fire polished, and a 15. And we're going to go from 111 to the 11 that is next to it in between the O bead. So there's the O bead. So we're going to bridge over the O bead. Just like that. Yeah. I guess it's supposed to rain a lot tonight. All right, so then we're going to continue through the pinch bead. And we're going to go up through our 15 and our 11. Pick up a 15, a 3 millimeter, and a 15. Bridge over where the O bead is. Over where the O bead is, and go into that 11, down into the 11 and the 15. Okay. Skirt through the pinch bead. And you can see I'm fighting with it because it's tight. All right. Up through the 15 and the 11. Pick up a 15, 3, and a 15. Yep, I don't like storms either. Takes away from my sunshine. Remember how I am with my sunshine. Down. Through the pinch bead. And sometimes it's going to take some playing around with to get through it. Switching to a smaller needle really won't help. So, okay, cool. Flower tonight. I think a couple of you are making your flowers tonight. I hope you get your kit soon, too. I think it's on its way, though. I tracked yours, and it looked like it said delivery for Monday. I don't know why it went all the way over to Florida and then wherever else it went, but... So I'm just adding these 3 millimeter. It's almost like decoration, but it's going to keep these guys from moving all the way around this doohickey here, this flower. All right, go through the pinch bead. 2 more left on this side. Up through the 15 and the 11. Set yourself up. Yeah, I have no idea why they went where they went. I mean, our postal service sometimes. I mean, I can imagine they have a lot of packages right now to deal with. So, down through the 11 and the 15, you're bridging over where the O bead is. So I imagine, Sandra, yours will be there soon too. Yeah, COVID. I know. $15, 3 and a 15. This is our last one that we're bridging. Last little bridge. Straighten out that petal. And we are done on that side, guys. All right, so I am going to, let's see if I can weave through. We can weave through. So I am going to go through this. Pinch bead here. So the pinch bead right underneath it. Go up through the 15 and the 11. And what I'm doing is I'm going through to the other side to add my decoration on the other side. Really? That's weird. And you're like, no. It's in Florida or New York. And I went through the petal, through the 3 millimeter in the middle, and then through the petal on this side, and I'm switching over to the other side to add my decoration on the other side. And we're gonna go down through the 11 and the 15. Through the pinch bead. And back up through the 15 and the 11. And that will set us up to add the pinks on this side. Thank you. It is a very pretty piece. Very simple. I mean, it doesn't look simple, but once you really make it, it's not hard at all. The hardest part is coming up with the idea for it. That's the hardest part. All right, so exiting that one, we're gonna pick up a 15, 3 millimeter, and a 15. And we're gonna bridge over the place where the O bead is. So down through the 11 and through the 15. And I switched to my other colors because remember I made this piece reversible. Through the pinch bead. Up through the 15 and the 11. Pick up a 15, 3, and 15. Down through the 11 and 15 on the other side of the O bead. Through the pinch bead. There's typically one side that's easier to go through with the pinch beads than the other. I don't know why, but it's just the way that it is. It's their permanent finish yellow gold, Lynn. That's the name of it. Permanent finish yellow gold. $15, 3, 15. Down through the 11 and the 15. Through pinch bead. Up through the 11 and 15. 15, 3, 15. Down through the 11 and the 15. Pinch bead. They're not silver. I know they look silver, but they're not. If you put them next to silver, they'll look gold. That's probably why they're not matching up with the silver, right? 15, 3, 15. Down through the 11, the 15 that's on the other side of that O bead. Through the pinch bead. $15 and $11. 3 beads, 15, 3, and an 11, 3 millimeter, and a 15, excuse me, an 11. I don't know where my head is. And through that pinch bead, and we're getting ready to add the last one. $15, 3 millimeter, and a 15. It can't be blue and silver with a pinch bead is gold. I have to do gold. And then through the pinch bead.
Thank you for calling Beadjoux. How can I help you?
There we go.
No, it's Monica.
There is your
How are you?
reversible flower.
Good, good. Stephanie's doing a live video right now. Uh-huh. Okay.
There we go.
Right. Okay. How about I have her call you as soon as she's done?
Easy peasy. All right. So somebody asked if I can show how to do a bail kind of quickly. I sure can. So
I don't know. I've never made that one. Okay.
we're going to go to that fire polish that is in between the petals.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Sounds good. How do you like your Fifth Avenue bracelet? Uh-huh. Yes. Oh, yeah, those not expensive now, yeah.
Okay, so we're exiting that fire polished. Thank you. We're exiting that fire polish that's right in between those beads there, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a loop, kind of the loop in between here. And you can do that with 15s or 11s or whatever. So I'll probably do 11s. And we'll probably do a neutral color because it's something that you'll be able to see on both sides. All right, so neutral, we'll do nickel. And this is just a quick and simple, how do I make a simple bail so that way I can hang this on something like right now because I have to. Oh, cool. Thank you. I like more guests. More the merrier for me. So that's cool. So, I mean, if I'm going to do this, I might as well have people watching me. So, since I'm doing this on the fly, we are going to start off with a 15. And then we're going to pick up a couple of 11s. And our couple of 11s are going to set up how big of a loop that we have. So I'll tell you how many I end up with so that way we figure it out. We'll figure it out together. So you got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see how big of a loop 12 makes. Let's do 14. And then we're going to pick up another 15. And we're going to go back through that 3 millimeter with those loops of beads. Okay. And there you go. There's a simple loop. So you can hang this guy on something. All right, you're not going to go through it just once. You're going to reinforce it. So we're going to pick up another 15. And you're going to go back through all the 11s that you added. I'm sorry I hit the camera. I'm making you guys dizzy. It's like sitting right above me, so it's kind of like not hard to miss. I'm just going through all these 11s again. All right, so there we go. Let me go grab a piece of leather. I'm not gonna cut this off right yet. So. So I just, aren't we all dizzy? Yeah, a little bit, right? I just grabbed a piece of leather here. I got some bolo cord leather. But yeah, so there we go. There would be one side of it. That leather is just gonna hang. See how it hangs? It's hanging. All right, and there's the other side of it. So pretty simple, not hard at all. All right, and if the loop is vertical like that, which means we can hang the necklace and it's not gonna flip when it's laying. It'll lay flat. Okay? So there we go. That was the flower. I'm gonna take you guys off of here. And there's my mess that you guys look at all the fire polish I pulled off. So, all right. So what we were talking about is this weekend I'm going to figure that guy out right there. So that's a necklace. And then this one will also be a kit. There's a bracelet. So, all right. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh yeah, and we're gonna continue our bead embroidery thing on Monday. So there's the bead embroidery. Okay, and I'll schedule some more classes for later on in the week. All right, stand up. So thank you everybody for joining us here at Beadjoux. I really appreciate it. I miss all of you that come to the store all the time and everything, and glad to meet a whole bunch of new of you guys, and girls. So thank you so much for joining us again, and I will see you on Monday. Regina needs something to do when she comes back. Yeah, put up all the beads. She's not gonna like that at all. I better put them back up myself. All right, thank you guys. Bye. Have a great weekend. Bye.